Let me know when you guys are ready to do this.
As ready as I'll ever be.
Yep. I've already started streaming my side, so. Started streaming my side, so. Coolio. Actually, can you guys say something real quick? Can you guys say something real quick?
Skip the meal for you two. Skip the meal for you two.
Oh, jeez.
Is brain block one word or two?
Two.
Okay, that makes sense. Just turn up OBS a little bit. Turn up OBS a little bit. Okay, my sound seems fine.
I'm pretty sure mine's okay.
You have like a wiki or something on hand, Scrappy, don't you?
And he's there!
Gravity Falls fandom is nothing if not meticulous, so yes, they have a wiki.
Okay, good. Otherwise, we'd be kinda all over the place.
Don't worry.
Oh boy.
What episode is it?
God, if I know, like, 8 maybe?
Sounds right. Let me check. Pretty sure it's 7.
Hmm. It's the sequel trilogy of the podcast now.
Alright, I'm ready.
Alright.
Agree.
Ah. Okay.
Is everyone ready?
Yeah,
Hello?
I'm just waiting to start at this point.
Okay.
Is my door open?
Kill him. It's the only way.
Ugh, I don't want to get up.
Alright. Hello and welcome to the Brain Block Podcast and welcome to episode 8. Today we're going to be talking about Gravity Falls. I'm your host Joe and here we also have our other hosts.
Hi, I'm Harry.
Hello, I'm...
Okay, yes. Sorry, you've been going AFK so often I thought you were AFK again.
JFK. I had to close my door and I can't put it from my chair because my headphones aren't long enough.
Pinky. Alright, so I'm gonna leave it to Scrappy to start us off, because this was planned, quote unquote.
Planned in the sense that we have a topic, but the way we're gonna go about it is like not planned. This is a
Alright.
I rewatched the first 3 episodes.
I haven't watched this show in like a few years.
I think we were still in school when we last watched it.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, Scrappy, go ahead.
Okay, well, as they've obviously alluded to, presumably while I was gone, today's subject is on Gravity Falls. To provide you all a bit of context about what that is, Gravity Falls is an American animated television series created and executive produced by animator Sandro Corsero, a young boy named Charles Francis. Wait. I'm sorry. This is Kick Buttowski's summary.
Is this gonna be a running gag at this point?
Until Joey gags me.
Issue ass nice.
Born a Gauge Man. Gravity Falls is an American animated television series created by Alex Hirsch, best known previously for voicing Clamantha in Fishhooks, and produced by Disney Television Animation for Disney Channel and Disney XD. Ran from June 15th, 2012 to February 2016.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I remember, like, Alex Hirsch being the creator of this show.
Yes. Excuse me. Describe Gravity Falls in full would be...
Nightmare.
Yes. Like, even its wiki has, like, 7 different genres to describe it.
Oh, wow.
Action-adventure, fantasy, mystery, horror, speculative fiction, comedy horror, and dark comedy.
Yeah, that all of the above kinda ring true.
It is an interesting show.
So how do we want to start this then?
I thought we did start.
Well, I mean, like...
Sake. Okay. Excuse me. We're Brain Block. We have less to say about this show that we like than we do about Sword Art Online.
See, that's why we can't talk about it, because we actually enjoy it.
Yeah.
The only thing we ever have to say is horrible things.
Well, I guess this started, like, when did you guys, first see Gravity Falls, and, like, how was that experience for you?
I first saw it because everyone was talking about it, and I think I watched it after I started watching Steven Universe.
Okay.
Oh wow, you were like season 1 was already over by that point.
No, the entire show
Yeah,
was finished when I started watching.
Okay, well, by comparison, I watched it around the same week it premiered on TV.
Oh wow, yeah.
I mean,
Where 2012 was summer.
I'd stopped watching television a long time before that, so...
Yeah, the thing with me is that, I stopped watching shows pretty much in general for a while, and as you may or may not know, MLP, Gen 4 was like the only show I watched for a period of time, and then after that, because everyone I knew was basically like singing this show's praises all the time, I gave it a show at some point, and I thought it was pretty good. I haven't watched it since, but after just kind of thinking it over a lot. It is like actually a really well-made show, and it's one of the shows besides like it's Gravity Falls and Steven Universe, etc. that started to get me back into watching cartoons and whatnot, and also slowly made me turn into a massive anime weeb, so I guess there's that too.
Yeah, screw you, Alex Hirsch. You have cursed us all for years to come.
Destroy us all!
Yeah, I watched it, well, while it was airing. It was advertised on Disney Channel, and at the time, I think back, outside of their school demographic block thing, and Phineas and Ferb were the only animated programs Disney Channel had that was actually airing new episodes, as far as I can recall. No, wait, Fish Hooks, which I mentioned earlier because I have horrible memory. And
I've never heard about it.
I mentioned, I think, aired on Disney Channel every once in a while, so...
I've never heard of Fish Hooks before this stream.
It aired full, actually. It got 4 years to air, so Disney Channel treated it quite well.
Alright.
It was, what's his name? Justin Roiland, what he was doing before Rick and Morty, basically.
Oh, okay. I still haven't watched the new season of that.
It's because it's on all 4.
I mean, I still have access to it, but I just haven't.
Oh yeah, everyone's got access to it because it's a free streaming service.
Yeah, it's
But-
just I haven't I don't know, because Rick and Morty just kind of has this really grotesque sense of humor that I kind of need to be in the mood for.
Meh.
You hang out with us.
I have a more grotesque sense of humor than Rick and Morty. So about that
Yep.
genocide.
Yeah.
Well, that's, I guess, just providing you some context on the climate the show was introduced in. Yes.
Yeah, and how we.
Yeah, Phineas and Ferb was the breadwinner of Disney Channel's television animation, and honestly, technically still is because it's getting a movie this year. Unless that got delayed.
Which doesn't make sense because the show got wrapped up neatly.
Those timeline, it has enough room that they can kind of just jump around it.
Yeah.
That's for another time.
Oh, well.
This is about another show which fandom declared war on Phineas and Ferb for random reasons. Anyway, love the show. We promise. We just
It's
don't
a
talk
really
about
good
it as much.
We haven't really talked about it, but it's a really good show.
All right, provide some context. Gravity Falls is honestly dark family tale, and I say that only half seriously, half jokingly.
Yeah.
Right, to provide some basis on how the show starts. Right, these two kids from where are they from? Oregon. Well, Gravity Falls is in Oregon.
No, they're not from Oregon. They're from Seattle, I think.
Something
Two kids from the city go out to the country. Their
Yeah.
great uncle lived in this midwestern town.
Yeah,
I don't know American geography.
you are American.
I don't know American geography.
Oh my god. You watch television. You should know. America makes the English know American geography. It's horrifying.
Oregon is a state in the Pacific Northwest. Oh, look at that, Pacific Northwest. I'm sure that name won't come up later in this. Oh, I get it now. Oregon is a state in the West Coast, so not the Midwest, it's just the West. The forested, grassy West, not the California beach West.
There's a difference.
So there's a difference.
thought the Midwest was just California.
The Midwest is like Michigan.
Say what?
Michigan.
Oh, okay.
But he does keep cutting out.
Michigan, pardon me.
Yes, chicken.
Fun fact, it was officially named the North Central Region by the Census Bureau until 1984.
Okay.
Alright, so 2 siblings go to not the Midwest, meet their great uncle Stan, otherwise known as Grunkle Stan. 2 heroes are Dipper and Mabel Pine. Twins.
Yes.
This is riveting commentary, I know.
I know, right?
You can tell this wasn't planned.
You can tell this totally isn't being recorded at 2 in the morning after I've had 2 drinks.
We're more for Sword Online when you were drunk then.
It's
I
easy.
got drunk during that stream.
It's easier to talk about that show for some reason.
We just have to admit that we secretly like it.
It's easier to talk about things you don't like is the thing.
See, here's the thing, I used to like Sword Art. Like, you know what would have been better commentary? Me talking about, I shit you not, the differences between the Hunger Games movie and the Hunger Games book.
Oh man.
But we're not talking about that as much as we prefer to. I prefer to hear me scream about.
Yeah.
But if we were gonna do that, I might as well start talking about airships, and that's not happening.
My airship.
It's the only way to fly.
Yeah. Oh dear. Okay, so Dipper and Mabel Pine go to Oregon with their great uncle. Dipper is a curious, but superstitious fellow. Has no friends. Like that's something I realized over the years. He just is to himself.
He also sounds like he's like 30 years old or something.
And that in itself is an episode plot.
Yeah.
No comment.
Comparison, his twin sister Mabel is more of a social flower, so to speak.
Yeah. She's the energetic one.
She found her parents' secret stash of cocaine and never stopped snorting.
God.
Shut your mouth, Joe. She has a natural high.
Hmm.
And if she was ever discovered, she would refer to it as unicorn dust.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
This is the part where Scrappy gets tiggered.
Sorry, I just haven't eaten. We may have to take a break, just line, so I can get some food. Going off of my memory, and the first episode's pretty, although it's simultaneously filler, but also setting up the whole myth arc that the show has.
Well, I mean, I don't. First episodes of.
First book.
I mean, the first episode of a show doesn't really need to be too crazy.
It needs to entertain, establish the lore, and establish the plot.
And like, yeah, just okay. This is what kind of show you're getting into. This is what they're working towards. And yeah.
It's very easy to fuck up the first episode. That's why a lot of animes you have to say the 3-episode rule.
I think
The first episode, nothing fucking happens.
Yeah, it's usually like, here's the characters, here's what they are.
Even. Like, you normally don't even see the entire cast until episode 4, and that's before mid-season reveals and shit.
Whole podcast just discussing like first episodes of shows, and that could be interesting. Put that on the list.
Yeah, maybe.
Do that episode, we have nothing to say. Of course we don't.
I gotta be honest, it's been so long since I've seen the show. A lot of things are like, kind of a distant memory. Like I remember some specific moments, but yeah.
Why did you agree to do this podcast?
Because I don't know.
Anyway, I was
We've made our bed, we're lying in it.
ain't lying in any bed with either of you. No, seriously.
As long as Asa gets to watch, it's fine.
This is gone. I'd say this has gone off the rails, but this hasn't even left the station, to be honest.
No, it
Really
hasn't.
hasn't.
It really
It
hasn't.
broke down.
It broke down and then went on another track. Backwards.
Look, it's
Sideways.
network rail, okay? That's all we need to say.
Yeah. That's about right.
Okay, so Dipper and Mabel are spending their summer with their Grunkle Stan. He owns. Grunkle Stan is a used car salesman in spirit.
Sure. No, he actually did sell cars before, I swear he did.
Yeah, it's probably in his backstory, actually.
That was
He is a
long
used
time
car
ago.
salesman in spirit and in history. He runs a tourist trap, knack, odd curiosity shop called the Mystery Shack. It only has 2 employees and only 1 actually works on a regular basis.
Also, if you notice that the S of Shack has fallen off, it's actually the Mystery Hack. Which is the most appropriate thing that you could refer to it as.
Hack.
Oh man.
I was
Seen, it
being
cannot be unseen.
somewhat facetious with my. I didn't call it wouldn't even call it an assessment. Like my statement of how the first episode was filler, yet also setting up a myth arc. I mean, and you can't. Does the first episode qualify as filler?
No.
Not
If
really.
first episode is filler, it's a pilot episode that got released as the first episode.
I think because like the first episode can be, you can have like a really slow and honestly kind of pointless first episode, but it still needs to introduce a lot of things, and the shows usually have to start slowish. Well,
Magic had a weird first episode.
So yeah, I guess it's also just a case-by-case basis. But like, if your first episode is like completely filler and like there's no point to it, I don't know what. Either the show is just really bad or there's no point to it.
Mind you,
There's no
folks,
point
we're
to
talking.
show, no one's gonna watch it.
Mind you, we're talking within the context of a story arc-driven show, which Gravity Falls
Right.
technically qualifies as.
Yeah, like if it's like slice of life or something, then the first episode should just give you a taste of what the general atmosphere of the show feels like, and again what the characters are like. So again, it's also based on the genre too. And the first few episodes are really important because if they take too long to grab, if the show takes too long to grab you, good luck keeping that person's attention.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yes, Gravity Falls is of the comedy, dramedy that has an actual story arc school of cartoons that seem to get popular within the last decade.
Yeah.
Its credit, I'd say it actually goes down a gauntlet pretty early, and as the end of the first episode, just to kind of, oh yes, we actually will have plot development happening, even if it's in the background.
Yeah.
With at least a little less sudden than like Wander Over Yonder's second season.
Because I know Wander Over Yonder got cancelled and never actually finished, I just won't watch it.
I never actually saw the show. I've seen clips of it, but that's it.
Second season did ostensibly finish its arc. It just they didn't really have an arc until season 2. Only what McCracken wanted in the first place, but he had to
earn it in the eyes of his corporate overlords.
more or less. Oh yes, it did finish its story, like it was left hanging, Joey.
You should name this episode like Gravity Falls Podcast ?
Is it though?
Yeah, exactly. Oh god.
This is the Gravity Falls episode. I thought we were talking about Wander Over Yonder.
This is an episode?
Hello, Jason. I have a surprise guest.
Whoa, what the hell?
We
Hi.
might as well have you here.
I was gonna say I heard you guys say Gravity Falls, so I'm like, time for me to step in.
Oh no.
Excellent.
Can you summarize episode 1 for
I
me?
haven't watched the show.
Why did you come in then?
I mean,
Because
honestly, with
so
as
I
much
can
of a
keep it top-
train wreck this is, he might as well be here.
so I can get some other conversations going for you guys.
Yeah.
Oh no, it has to be Gravity Falls. It's our
I don't know.
subject. Possibly.
I'll be quiet otherwise when you get back on topic.
Try. Where are we even
I've
going?
been trying. We've been trying since we started.
Really? Is that hard to talk about it?
No, we're just tired and...
I just don't know what to say right now. I'm sorry.
Also, you just demolished the kid finally. What are you looking at, you pervert? Hey, stop right there.
He's reading the text from Puyo Puyo.
He was made by such as mine today. Such a thin body serves me no interest. He likes them thick.
Harry, has this series always been depraved?
Shazam!
What has this turned into?
I don't know.
What we always were. Chaos.
Oh god.
Chaotic?
I like how Shaza's like, I don't care, and then she just goes on and on.
Yeah.
So how hard is this game, by the way?
I'll tell you.
Oh, one of us hasn't watched it in years. The other kind of came late because he was cooking food for his mother.
Which is a fair thing, which is fair enough. It's Mother's Day after all.
For you
Only in
guys.
our country, not theirs.
For
so
you
they were waiting
guys,
for me.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think in Japan it was like a couple days ago actually.
Mm. Oh yeah,
Okay.
that makes sense actually, because I saw a post about it on Facebook. I saw a post about Mother's Day on Facebook a couple days ago.
So it was like yeah. I also when I sent you that Persona 4 clip, it was also on May 8th.
Oh, okay.
Am I supposed to be doing a podcast?
I don't even know anymore.
Wait, was Rulu like holding like a plush or something of Satan?
Yes.
If you guys want to change the topic, we can stop and restart.
I was
change
about
it.
to go through the first episode, but
Yeah,
okay.
can we like go back on track, please? Because we've had like Gravity Falls on the back burner for ages, but we never got to it because we just never know what to talk about it.
Okay, no, we don't have to summarize the actual plot of the show for everyone. This is not a Wikipedia article.
If there's
And
one thing I can say, the whole show does take place over the course of like one summer break, and what I think what's really good about it is that it doesn't it doesn't like overstay its welcome or anything, and it only has like what, like 2 seasons maybe, and they made the choice to just kind of end it while the iron was hot, so to speak, and I think that's kind of admirable, because it's very easy to just milk a show for all it's worth and keep it running even though its story is done or whatever. So I like that Alex Hirsch like actually did that.
Get so few story-driven animated series in my country relative to the straight comedies that it's kind of rare that you run into like shonen manga territory where a story has just been driven into the ground.
Hmm.
I'm trying to think of something myself, actually. I can't think of anything like that.
It's action. I mean, most story-heavy action series don't last long enough to get plots run into the ground, so
Yeah.
you take the good with the bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for some reason, Megacorps try and come wrap their heads around the conclusion that it doesn't make money when it makes a shit ton of money. But no, what the problem is it doesn't monetize well in merchandise.
Hmm.
Actually, this is a weird thing. Alright, so Five Nights at Freddy's and Bendy and the Ink Machine.
Oh yeah.
They're horror games with a cartoon-esque aesthetic. It's pretty genius how they sort of work.
Yeah, that's probably what drives like the younger audience in.
They're ridiculous. Yeah. The merchandise is ridiculously popular with like 8-year-olds and up. You cannot go into a toy store without seeing an entire aisle of just Five Nights at Freddy's and Bendy Machine toys. Like
Hello Neighbor, also to a smaller extent.
I've never seen any of that, and that probably you don't get maybe a neighbor plushie.
You'd be surprised what I see. What I see in stores.
Hmm.
Not gonna lie though, some of my cousins when they were a lot younger, if they were the age they were now today, I wouldn't be surprised if they were trying to get a Hello Neighbor dollhouse.
Hmm.
And that could probably
that freaking house. What? Oh, excuse me. Was that guy's freaking house?
Yeah, that guy's house.
I mean, have you like Harry? Have you seen what the house looks like in Hello Neighbor?
I think this might be the first time I've heard about this show.
It's
not a show; it's a game.
Oh, I don't know then.
Basically, call it an architect's nightmare.
I see.
Actually, there's videos of architects on YouTube trying to analyze it and giving themselves seizures.
I remember there was like the science of like a game theory spin-off.
Game theory.
Although that one's actually
the theory.
Well, no, actually, I think that one's a bit more interesting in theory
Shield
points.
Fest, where the first episode is just 3 hours of me saying buy my merch.
Anyway, I think it's actually more interesting in the game than the actual theory sometimes.
Hmm.
Because it's actually using science and all that.
Segueing off of the merchandise thing, I've seen this happen before where shows have been cancelled because the merchandise didn't sell.
Oh yeah.
There was a show called Stormhawks, which was really fucking good.
Because at the end of the day, they want the merchandise to sell, and if it doesn't, pull the plug on the show. Because yeah.
Like Joey, wasn't that a Cartoon Network show?
Yep.
It was on Cartoon Network. It wasn't an original series, but it was on Cartoon Network.
Okay, I remember
where
that.
I originally saw it. If I remember correctly, it had 2 seasons, and instead of having a first episode, it had a pilot episode that was the first episode.
Like, yeah, going back, yeah, but about the toys and the merchandising. You know what? That's why it's probably the only reason why Teen Titans Go is actually still going.
Yeah, like if they still have that stuff selling, then it's like, we're getting a lot of money. Why should we stop it?
also, for some reason, and totally not for the fact that it's the only thing they show on the network for 8 hours straight a day,
Yeah.
that
In fact,
it's the only thing that gets
Well,
watched.
yeah.
God.
That kind of reminds me, actually. I think that's why Young Justice was actually canned way too early.
Probably.
Young Justice, it's a Justice League like esque show. It's like the
I've heard of it before.
I heard it, I've seen a little bit. It's actually pretty good.
Hmm.
Is it with cartoons taking adult characters and making them kids?
No, it's not that.
Oh god, thank god.
It's like Kid Flash, Robin. All,
Yeah.
all,
Was basically a more what am I trying to say? Successor to the 2003 Teen Titans cartoon.
Oh, okay.
wasn't it like who was the Green Arrow's like one again? I forget his name.
Artemis.
Huh?
Artemis.
It was like, didn't he like go off because he was like kept feeling like we're not respected or something like that?
Come on, Artemis or Speedy?
Speedy, that's what it was.
Anyway, as everyone touched upon, well, like as we know, just like anime adaptations of manga, you need to sell merch, otherwise you get the plug pulled.
Yeah, it's.
I can count the number of shows
I'm
I've
sure
been
Japan
probably.
doesn't even get that problem because they have an entire city devoted to selling anime shit.
But then, counterpoint, well, as a part-timer, never got a second season. It's
Yeah. What
served advertised the manga and then it died. That's what it was meant to do.
I don't know, like, why, like, we're going all over the place now, but, like, it's funny because, like, the voice actors have gone on record saying they want to do a second season.
The
But
English or the Japanese?
that I don't know, I just remember hearing, like, the voice actors wanted to do another one. I don't remember if it was English or Japanese, though.
I mean,
Oh.
if it's the English voice actors, nothing's gonna happen.
Oh, yeah, because, like, it's, yeah.
Well, if it's a Japanese voice actors, then it's kind of got more going on, like the fact that like they just haven't made Japanese.
They want them to, like, actually make the season in the first place, but
Yes, so they can actually dub it.
yeah.
And also, you gotta remember, it takes a long ass time to adapt the book into a show.
Well, I mean, when did season 1 come out? Because it's like
2013, Harry. It's done.
It's not happening.
Yeah, because I'm gonna say, like, because the show only goes over, like, the first 2 books, and there's, like, there must be, like, 9 or something of the things now.
This rate, in 10 years or so, we'll get Devil as a Part-Timer Brotherhood. They'll redo the first season. And it gets canceled after that first season when they were trying to redo everything, sort of canon, and then we're just crying.
Is the manga still ongoing?
I don't know.
So, as we all know, art is...
I tried playing Puyo.
Art is expensive.
Yeah, again, that's why merch needs to sell, so they can feel like continuing a series is warranted.
Yeah.
To be told, I didn't see much Gravity Falls merchandise. Character designs are cute, pardon me.
Sorry, I was gonna say since we're still in the merchandising, I can imagine for Japan, the mangas or anything like that stuff are what just make their money back.
Probably.
Well, you gotta think about it like this. Alright, so
I mean,
My Little
Love
Pony
Live is
exists
probably like
specifically to sell
CDs
the
or something.
merchandise. And that's because with My Little Pony you can make infinite amounts of characters just by color swaps and hairstyles,
Yeah.
shove it in the frickin' factory, and then print out 1 billion of them.
Yeah.
By the way, we actually have somebody in our
Almost
chat.
as fast as paper.
Oh.
Someone's saying, like, I tried playing Puyo 2 on SNES, NES, Nintendo Switch Online recently, and man, I really suck at it. I got destroyed by the AI opponent, and also Gravity Falls best show.
Oh, nice.
I think that's Harry's strong.
Probably.
I'm not seeing.
I'm gonna have to switch to another game in a minute because I didn't expect to beat this so fast.
Symphonia?
I think.
No, no, that would distract us from the podcast. I'm not doing that.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry, we're not
I was
distracted
saying
right
about,
now.
production. Guys,
Yes.
on topic. I was saying about how merchandise works and mass production and shit,
Mhm.
and how on top of a good show needs merchandise, it
Had
also
big-
needs something
had
called
big
a
fun.
toyetic character, something that's easy to mass produce, and like in the MLP's case, switch, mix and match just random colors and shit and different types of plastic to quickly produce random crap to sell to people.
I want to type Puyo Nexus. That's the ROM, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean,
Alright.
Gravity Falls, I guess you could make plushies with it, but plushies are expensive and don't mass produce well. As you saw with any officially licensed again MLP plushie.
Oh, that's Sylph. Hi, Sylph. Okay, so
Oh.
while you I'm gonna
Hey.
I'm gonna set up return so I can do those time trials. You guys like
Okay.
try and
Oh,
work this back into Gravity Falls if you can.
Alright, I'll work this back into Gravity Falls by already talking about Gravity Falls, sort of. By trying to say that, because I swear this more become a conversation about show merchandise than it has Gravity Falls.
Yeah, it has. It really has.
Okay, let me change topic then. Not from Gravity Falls, but back to Gravity Falls. There's a lot of weird shit that goes on in the background that I wish they explained more. Like, there is flat out an alien spaceship in Gravity Falls that gets revisited once, and then sort of self-repairs and fucks off. It's like, that has major implications for the in-show universe that just never get spoken of again. I mean, granted, they had all of Bill Cipher to worry about at the time. It wasn't important. But at the same time,
Oh, Bill
fucking
Cipher
aliens
isn't.
exist.
That's a massive can of
that's
worms.
that's that's the pyramid thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't a pyramid.
Well, I mean,
Pyramid
well,
with the one line, basically Illuminati.
yeah, that.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, Bill Cipher, yeah, the pyramid Illuminati bullshit, yeah.
Yeah.
I was talking
Getting ahead of ourselves.
which was
Yeah,
basically
this is like end.
bunker-
This is an end game
Oh,
we're
that's
talking
all right. I
about.
was just asking questions because I just know what little bits I've seen.
No, I swear this was.
But
Bill
internet
Cipher is
can't
the
spoil.
end game.
Internet
Yeah,
can,
yeah.
You know, spoil.
I swear the bunker's the end of season 1.
That's like the start of season 2, I believe.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? um,
Not that any alien threat would be a problem because of interdimensional shit, but that's back to Bill Cipher. And
Alright, I'm gonna. Okay, can we pause for a minute because I need to like restart OBS so I can get the console running on this.
Just go for it.